Most people think it's hilarious. Their cat, completely calm and peaceful all evening, suddenly loses its mind at 3 a.m., sprinting down the hallway, sliding across the floor, leaping at nothing, making sounds that belong in a horror movie. So the owner laughs, posts a video, maybe yells from the bedroom to knock it off, rolls over and falls back asleep. That's the most common reaction. And honestly, it might be the biggest spiritual mistake a cat owner makes without even realizing it. Because here's what almost nobody tells you. That frantic, chaotic, completely unexplainable behavior happening in the darkest hours of the night isn't random. It isn't your cat being weird or overstimulated or just being a cat the way people dismissively say when they don't have an answer. Something else is happening in that hallway. And your cat isn't just running, your cat is working. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, the last thing I'm going to show you will completely change how you see your cat. And once you understand it, you'll never be able to look at them the same way again. Let's start with the science, because I know some of you need that foundation before the rest of this makes sense. And what the science actually shows is more surprising than most people expect. Researchers at the University of Lincoln spent years studying what's called spatial guarding behavior in domestic cats. The way cats deliberately position themselves in specific locations within a home, particularly near entry points like doorways, hallways, and the entrances to rooms where their owner sleeps. What they found wasn't random territorial behavior. It was intentional, calculated. Cats were stationing themselves at the thresholds between their sleeping owner and the rest of the home, night after night, in a pattern too consistent to be coincidence. The researchers described it as an active, protective stance, the cat placing its own body as a barrier between the vulnerable human and the unknown space beyond the door. Now, mainstream science calls that territorial guarding. It's a documented behavior with a clinical name and a neurological explanation rooted in feline instinct. But here's the thing. The explanation for why a cat does it and the meaning of what the cat is actually doing are two different conversations. Because the mystics, the spiritual traditions, the energy workers who have spent centuries observing the relationship between cats and humans, they described that exact same behavior thousands of years before any university put a name to it. They called it something different. They called it holding the line. And when you pair that behavioral research with something else, the fact that 3 a.m. is consistently identified across nearly every spiritual tradition as the hour when the energetic veil between the physical and non-physical world is at its thinnest, that hallway run starts to look a lot less like your cat being dramatic and a lot more like someone showing up to a shift they take very seriously. Here's what most people don't understand about cats and energy. Cats don't experience the world the way we do. Their nervous systems are built to detect things we literally cannot perceive. Electromagnetic fluctuations, infrasonic frequencies, micro-pressure changes in the air. They sense things before those things fully materialize into something we can register. That's not mystical language. That's documented sensory biology. But what the spiritual traditions add to that is this. Just because human instruments can't measure something doesn't mean there's nothing there to measure. So when your cat is tearing through the house at 3 a.m., what you're seeing isn't chaos. What you're watching is a highly sensitive, instinctively attuned being responding to something that entered the energy of your home. A stagnant pocket, a residual presence, a low-frequency disturbance that built up during the day and settled into the corners and hallways of your space overnight. Your cat isn't losing its mind. Your cat is dispersing it, running through it, moving the air, disrupting the stillness, breaking up the density. In energy work, That's called clearing. Your cat is doing it for free, without being asked, in the middle of the night, while you sleep completely unaware. Think about that for a second. You wake up in the morning feeling inexplicably heavy sometimes, tired even after a full night's sleep, irritable before the day even starts. And your cat is there, watching you from the foot of the bed, looking completely spent. You thought it was just the zoomies. You had no idea they'd been running interference on your behalf for hours. And if you think that's something, wait until we get to the last part of this video. Because what I'm about to show you is something most cat owners see every single day and still don't understand what it actually means. Before we get there, if this is already making you rethink how you've been responding when your cat wakes you up at 3 a.m., hit like and subscribe. Not for the algorithm. Because there are thousands of cat owners out there who are scolding their cat, shutting the door on them, or medicating them for anxiety when what their cat is actually doing is protecting them. The more this video reaches people, the more cats get the acknowledgement they deserve. That's the whole point. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. The idea of cats as protectors, as spiritual guardians, isn't something I made up, and it isn't something that started on the internet. This goes back thousands of years. Ancient Egyptians didn't worship cats because they were cute. They understood something about them. They saw how cats behaved in spaces that humans found disturbing, how they walked calmly into rooms that made people uneasy, how they seemed to neutralize what couldn't be seen. They weren't pets. They were protectors, guardians of the threshold between worlds. And the 3 a.m. behavior, that specific nocturnal activation, was seen as the clearest sign of a cat fulfilling its actual purpose. In Celtic tradition, in East Asian folklore, in the spiritual practices of indigenous cultures across multiple continents, the same pattern shows up. The cat is awake when humans are most vulnerable. The cat moves through the dark spaces so the human doesn't have to. The cat absorbs, disperses, and neutralizes. And then, when the work is done, when whatever disruption was present has been cleared, the cat comes back. It finds the owner, it settles in, and it sleeps. That cycle, the activation, the work, the return, isn't random animal behavior. It's a ritual. And your cat has been performing it in your home every single night, whether you noticed or not. So here's the part I promised you at the beginning, the thing that will change how you see your cat. After the run, after the patrol, after the work is done, and the energy of your home has been cleared, and your cat is satisfied that whatever needed to be moved has been moved, your cat will come to you. Sometimes immediately, sometimes after settling quietly for a while. But they come back. And when they do, many cats will do something that looks, on the surface, completely ordinary. They'll look at you, really look at you, slow, steady, soft. And then they'll close their eyes, slowly, and open them again. That slow blink that every cat owner has seen and almost no one fully understands. That isn't your cat being sleepy. That is your cat checking you. In feline communication, exposing your eyes, closing them voluntarily in the presence of another being, is the single most vulnerable thing a cat can do. A cat that doesn't trust you keeps its eyes open, always. Blinking slowly is how a cat says, "I trust you completely. I have lowered every defense I have, and I need to know you're okay." After a night of energetic work, your cat comes to you and checks your energy. They're not just being affectionate, they're confirming that whatever they spent the night dispersing didn't reach you. They're checking that your field is clear, that your rest was protected, that the work they did actually worked. That slow blink is a report. It's your cat saying, "I held the line. "You're safe. Are you okay?" And most owners? They glance over, think, "Oh, cute," and go back to their phone. The cat gets no response to a question it asked with everything it had. The fix for this is genuinely simple, and once you start doing it, you'll notice a change in your cat almost immediately. A kind of deep settling, a relaxed exhale they give when they feel truly seen. When your cat looks at you and slow blinks, especially in the morning, after a night where they were active, slow blink back. Hold their gaze, soften your eyes, and close them slowly for about 3 seconds. That's it. That's the whole thing. In the language, your cat actually speaks. You just said, "I received what you did. I'm okay. You did well." You can also extend one finger gently at their nose level and let them come to you. Let them read your energy directly through scent, which for a cat is one of the most intimate acts of trust that exists. You're not just petting them, you're letting them verify in their own language that you're exactly where they need you to be. Your cat has been showing up for you night after night in ways you couldn't see and probably never acknowledged. They never asked for credit. They never needed you to understand. They just kept doing it anyway, because for a cat who has chosen you, protecting you isn't a task. It's a purpose. The least we can do is blink back,